Hello, Rama Rama Puppodu. Hope all are in good health, feeling great, wonderful, having a happy and relaxed life. Now let's go to chapter 45, next part. At Angar, Ramdas was received by the devotees of the place with so much love and devotion as they did on the previous occasions. Kirtan, bhajan, and feast were the order of the day. After a short stay here, Ramdas and the party proceeded to Upalai, where again he was welcomed into the modest and sacred hut of Govind Ram Krishna Joshi. Oh, what words can adequately express the overflowing love, simple faith, and exalted devotion of this glorious couple, Govind Ramakrishna Joshi and his wife Radhabai? Here again a full program of bhajan, kirtan, and dinner was gone through. From Upalai, at the invitation of Jahagirdar Raghunath Maharaj Yeshwant, he proceeded to a village called Ashti. It so happened that when Ramdas came to the Jahagirdar's house, it was discovered that his wife was in a monthly period, and as is the custom with the Brahman, that during such periods a lady should observe segregation and should not be touched, as such touch is considered to be polluted. Jahagirdar was in a fix as to the management of the kitchen. With the help of a neighbor lady, he got the meals ready for the guests. All the time, Jahagirdar's wife was feeling greatly disappointed that she could not take part in the festivities. Most of all, she took to her heart that she was losing the golden opportunity of ever touching the feet of Ramdas. He had to, as prearranged, stay with the family only for a day. The anxious mother appealed to Ramdas through her husband that he should prolong his stay at their place until she passed the period of pollution, which is generally 3 days. But Ramdas could not accede to her wish. So, at about 4 o'clock the same day, he started. When he came out of the house, he saw the mother in a corner in the front yard. On a sudden prompting from Ram within, Ramdas went up to her and asked her to touch his feet. She hesitated, but he assured her there was nothing wrong if she touched him, as he was not only her child, but the Lord had freed him from all conventional restrictions. The mother responded with a face suffused with delight and laid her head at his feet. The darshan over, he turned towards the friends who were waiting for him. They must have been not a little astonished at this strange act of Ramdas, but they were calm and indulgent. Mention has to be made that at this place also he came in contact with two Muslim friends who were extremely kind to him. Passing through various other villages, Ramdas with the party came to Kandali. Vaman Rao Balwant Kulkarni was as kind as ever in the loving service of his guests. Soon, Digambar Kulkarni came here to take Ramdas with him to Usmanabad. They travelled by train and reached Usmanabad, where he resided in the house of Digambar Kulkarni. The visit to this town is memorable in many respects. Some of the prominent events relating to this visit are chronicled here. On the second day of his arrival, he had invitations from two merchants. He was first taken to the house of one of the merchants in the motor car, followed by a procession and an English band playing in front. The reception Ramdas received at his house was right royal. Evidently, the merchant was a rich man. Ramdas was made to sit on the raised dais, decked and decorated like a throne. As soon as he took his seat, the merchant induced him to discard for the time being his plain khadar cloth and put on instead laced and silk clothes. He besmeared his body and face with sandal paste, heaping on him at the same time various costly presents. After partaking of the prasad, they had him photographed. When the time for departure came, Ramdas divested himself of the rich robes and redonned his plain khadar piece. The merchant insisted upon Ramdas accepting his costly gifts of clothes, etc. Declining the offer with thanks, Ramdas said these glittering things are not meant for a wandering fakir like Ramdas, so you have to excuse him for not accepting them. Ramdas left the merchant house in company with another merchant who took him to his house where he was treated with a course of similar hospitality. The house of Digambar Kulkarni became a veritable Bhajan Mandir. The name of God resounded within its wall throughout the day and also till late at nights. He would sit in a spacious hall in the upper story of the building while all the devotees who assembled there would stand in rows against the walls and sing the Lord's name in a chorus. Digambar Kulkarni took the lead in Bhajan. On the day following Ramdas' arrival, a Hindu vakil in the neighborhood came in and took his seat beside him, and laterally stood up and joining the chorus danced with the others. When the bhajan stopped, the lull was restored. This vakil, approaching Ramdas, sat down facing him. Swamiji, he said, I greatly wish that you should hear the tale of my conversion. It came about in a wonderful way. In the first place, I must tell you that until an hour ago, I was a rank skeptic. My house is situated adjoining this. I could hear from there the loud singing going on here. When I heard it and also the thumping on the floor of the story, I made enquiries as to what the noise was about. I was told that a sadhu had arrived at the house and that the singing and dancing was on account of him. I thought that the people in the house were extremely foolish, that they should behave so boisterously simply because some wandering mendicant was present with them. I did not stop merely thinking of their folly, but felt a curiosity to see the sadhu who was the cause of so much commotion in the house. I decided to have only a peep at him from the staircase and then turned back. Accordingly, I slowly entered the house and went up the steps of the staircase to the height from which I could have a good view of the sadhu. I saw, but my mind refused to turn my back. I felt an irresistible desire to climb further up and enter the room, and I did. I thought there was no harm to witness the fun. I sat and watched with a curious state of mind the progress of the bhajan. I was tickled to behold stout-bodied, educated men jumping and dancing. I could not stop at that. I came to think, what does it matter if I repeat the mantram within breath? Nothing wrong, I suppose, if I do so. And I commenced muttering the mantram to myself. My hand automatically clapped in a slow key. What if I stand in a corner just as the others do? I would not bellow forth like them. Repeating merely with the lips will not be detected. Suiting action to thought, I got up and stood in a far corner in line with the others, and my lips moved and I uttered the mantram inaudibly. My hands continued clapping. If I sing a little louder and the sound will be drowned in the chorus and nobody the wiser and no harm done. I went on taking the mantram a little louder. All the time my feet were feeling restless. What does it matter if I slightly move up and down the feet? And I did move the feet. So far I was aware of the cause of my conduct. What followed next, I confess, is beyond me to say. The fact was, he had danced more wildly than the others. He sang more loudly than the others, and his hands clapped more furiously than the others. At the close of his narration, a friend in the fold whispered into his ears, advising him to receive initiation of the mantram from Ramdas. He replied to the friend, there is no need for it. I know what I am about. The invitation is meant for people like you. Soon after, the photographer came with a dozen copies of Ramdas' photo taken on the previous day. They assembled devotees eagerly secured a copy, each of whom our Vakil friend was one. On getting his copy, his friend, going near Ramdas, took out his photo with his fountain pen and handing the photo and pen to Ramdas, requested him to write down on the top of the photo the Ram Mantram. Observing this, the friend who advised him to be initiated roared with laughter and exclaimed, there you are. What is this, if not initiation? No, no, returned the Vakil friend. I am simply asking him to write down the mantram. That is all. Another day, Ramdas was invited to the local high school where he had not only to speak a few words to the students but also had to distribute prizes to them. Two more events that occurred, one following closely on the other, are the utmost significance. One afternoon, about 40 persons belonging to the cobbler caste came to pay a visit to Ramdas, passing through the streets in procession singing the Lord's name to the accompaniment of cymbals, veena and mridang. He received them at the gate of the Vakil's house. They considered it no small privilege that they could approach him and touch his feet. Before leaving, they expressed a desire that he should attend their congregation to be held in his honor in their locality at 9 o'clock in the night. The same day, he had another invitation from the prominent Brahmins of the place for Harikatha performance at the Sri Panduranga temple of the town. It was decided that he should proceed to the temple directly after his visit to the locality of the cobblers had terminated. That's all, folks. Let's see in the next chapter. Thank you. Bye bye. Rama Rama Pupodu.